This is Hope and Help with Doctors Michelle and Mark Sherwood. Insights and interviews with a dose of straight talk to help you enjoy optimal health in all areas of life.
As many of you know, we have partnered up with Gold and Silver Financial Advisors to ease the burden of financial panic, worry, and anxiety. In the times we have, the stock market seems to be crashing, financial uncertainty seems to be elevating to all-time highs, and we want to make sure that we're able to give you the up-to-date information, because when your finances begin to go south, they will take your health with them. So right after this message, we're right back with our gold and silver specialist, Andrew Sorchini. Don't go away. Our passion is living a full and healthy life, physically, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, and financially. Our purpose? Teaching as many people around the world to do the same. If that's what you're looking for, simply take 12 seconds to go to sherwood.tv and join our free newsletter.
We'll send you new interviews and practical tips for hope and health. Visit sherwood.tv and subscribe.
All right, Andrew, thanks for joining us, man. All right, so look, you're rocking and rolling. The inflation's out of control. People are losing a lot of their investments right now in the stock market. That's a happening deal. What do we need to know and what are we going to do?
Wow. We've been telling, well, first of all, thanks for having me back. We've been telling people for so long that the stocks were going to have a correction, and stocks are down about 25% on the average this year. And so many people have made money in the stock market for the past 13 years that they actually felt like they knew that they were doing what they were doing. But the thing is everything was going up, everything. But now when it's going down, people don't know when to sell. And they're cutting their losses and running, and they need to protect themselves and get into a store of value somewhere where their funds can be safe until all this blows over. And it will blow over. But gold and silver are probably the best means to do that with.
When you talk about gold and silver, people have a question all the time. Gold or silver? Which is it and why?
Well, I think it's different depending on what an individual's circumstances are. So here's a couple of examples. One gentleman that used to always do $5,000 silver deals with me, just always $5,000, never anymore, calls and starts doing like 50 and 60 and eventually $200,000 silver and gold deals. And I was curious. I just said, hey, what changed? You used to do the small deals and now you're doing the bigger ones. And he said, well, I'm almost 80. I have a bunch of apartment buildings that I just sold. And looking at all that cash in my bank balance scared the heck out of me. He said, it's just too much money in the bank. I asked him, why did you sell your apartment buildings? He said, I always did my own maintenance. They've been paid off since the 1960s. And he said, I'm not in any shape to do that anymore. So I figured it was time to cash out. But now he's afraid of having too much cash. So he wanted to convert it into gold. And he just did it a little bit at a time. And in that instance, going heavier in gold would be good. And putting it into gold is like a good store of value. That means I'm going to invest in gold now because I think I might need those funds sometime soon. So if a person can invest an amount that they're comfortable with and they expect that they will not need that for about maybe 2 to 5 years, then I say go with silver, because silver can double or triple in price a lot easier than gold can. So really, if you don't need those funds anytime soon, then I say go with silver.
So silver, in other words, would operate more like a 2 to 3 year, maybe like a certificate or something like that used to be. You're locked in there in your brain, at least for 2 or 3 years, whereas gold is maybe something you might want to do more liquidy because of the ability to cash out and not lose the value, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. If a person bought gold and silver from us today and turned around and wanted to sell both back to us in 6 months, there's a likely chance that they would sell the silver back at a slight loss, and the gold could actually sell back to us for a slight profit. It's actually about 50-50. So
Got
it
it.
should be longer term. Yeah.
So what about the person right now? Let's just kind of draw a little box around person who's maybe participating in a 401k, kind of a matching thing with their retirement, with their employer, and they have a little bit of a savings over here, but they're starting to see the erosion and the effect of that 25% stock market loss.
Exactly.
Okay. What are they going to do, and what would be their action steps, like number 1, 2, 3, to kind of look at?
Sure. So if a person still works at the company where that 401k was generated at, then in all likelihood, you would not be able to transfer that into a precious metals IRA. So in that event, I would ask that those people check with their HR department, because there are instances where they can do a portion of it and roll it over into precious metals IRA. So check with HR and just see if it can be done. If it can't be done, then I would say liquidate what you have in the 401k, but leave it in there as cash, which would give you a good opportunity to buy back into stock and mutual fund products at a bargain once all of this blows over. It could be years though. And on the other side of things, if it's an old 401k and it's just sitting there and you've not worked at the company or companies for a long time, then roll those over. We can get them turned into precious metals IRAs in about 7 days. So we're doing those so fast.
Precious metal IRAs, are those different than, I know the answer, but communicate, is that different than maybe precious metals you would buy and ship to a person at their house?
Absolutely. Through a precious metals IRA, you do own physical gold and silver, but it's not stored at your home like if you did a cash purchase. It's held in a depository in Delaware, in a lockbox with an account with your name on it. So you could actually call us and say, I want to have my gold and silver sent to me directly. And the silver that is stored on your behalf would be sent to you. It's not a certificate. So it's a great question.
Any danger in the security of these storage facilities for precious metals?
I don't feel that there is. They are insured, and I've had an account there for more than 15 years, and it's 50% of my inventory is actually stored at the same depository that our IRA accounts are held at. And we currently manage over $200 million in IRAs that hold gold and silver, and I've never heard of any issues at all. And before this whole COVID mess, they actually welcomed that people could set an appointment and tour the facility to feel more comfortable. But they're the biggest and the best.
Hi, friends. Dr. Mark Sherwood here.
And I'm Dr. Michelle Sherwood.
Not everyone can make an appointment with us, but you can receive many of the same educational benefits our patients receive through our most comprehensive course, Health Secrets Exposed.
Modern healthcare, or should we say sick care, is more focused on profit than your health. And in this course, you'll discover what sick care has been keeping from you all along.
Here's a hint. You don't need more medication.
You need the simple truths in this course to unlock optimal health. Health Secrets Exposed is usually $149. Now it's just $99 with your promo code. It's time for you to learn what Big Pharma doesn't want you to know. Go to Sherwood.tv now and use promo code HOPEHEALTH to receive this exclusive offer.
What's the advantages of having gold or silver in a storage facility versus having it at your house?
Well, that's another great question, because if someone, for many people, they don't feel that they're secure enough at their home. Maybe you live alone, or you're elderly and you live alone, or an elderly couple, no one else living in the home. You feel like maybe you're not safe. Then I would go with a depository. But what I found is that most of the people that run in the circles that we do, they've got a large gun safe in at their home, and usually there's a little room on the bottom that you could stack the silver in there. Now, if it's a much larger account, if you had 500,000 or a couple 100,000 that you wanted to convert into gold and silver, then the storage option would be great, because that silver takes up a lot of space.
So there's really no advantages other than what your comfort level is, right?
I couldn't have worded that any better.
What kind of my area, and I know the reason we have these segments like this is because financial stress and strain can have a powerful effect negatively and directly on your health, and it can destroy who you are as a human being because you're so worried about losing your value and ability to buy and sell and losing your accumulated wealth. Now, having said that, is there a magic formula we want to have right now, like a breakover point for every $1 million of assets you have? You want to have X number of $1,000 of silver. Is there a formula we can follow or no?
Absolutely. For years and years and years, financial advisors have always been recommending about 15 to 20% of your portfolio be in gold and silver, physical gold and silver. But nowadays, we're seeing people go up 30, 40, 50% because so many people out there have made money in real estate and stocks, and they want to be able to capture some of that profit and execute those positions or exit those positions. And now they're sitting on cash. And again, most people are not comfortable with a large sum of cash sitting in the bank. They don't trust the banks.
No, I don't. And we shouldn't, should we?
Yeah, no, not at all.
What is a feasible amount of cash to have in a bank, in your professional opinion?
I feel like if you had upwards of about 50,000, because I figure 50,000 is going to cover more than cover your 6 months worth of all costs. So I figure 50,000 is nice. And so many people want to convert all of their cash. They want to leave like pennies in the checking account and go into gold and silver. And we tell them, no, you need to hold on to some cash. I mean, at the very least, $15,000, $20,000. If your home's paid for and your cars are paid for and the kids are out of the house, then have at least 20 grand in there, because you still need cash. Gold and silver could be used as a way to barter, and they will be in an emergency situation, but we still need the good old greenbacks right now, even though they're not worth the paper that they're printed on.
All right. 2 final questions I think would be appropriate. Number one, person's got gold and silver at the house, and they say, or even in a storage facility, and they say, oh gosh, I need cash. Will you buy that back?
Oh, absolutely. It's I just got off the phone with someone that did quite a large IRA purchase, and what they were trying to understand is why you want to have one type of gold and silver, like a semi-collectible, non-reportable gold and silver, versus the bars or the straight bullion. We went over all of that, and at the end of the call, they let us know that they had a significant amount of silver bars and gold bars at their home, and I agreed to help them exchange that out in favor of having the non-reportable type of gold and silver. So we do help people with that.
Good. And really quick, Andrew, the difference, we talked about this, episodes ago, the difference between non-reportable gold and silver and reportable gold and silver. One more time.
This is so important. It's we really should talk about it every time that I come on your show, because it's a reportable type of gold and silver is an asset that says exactly how much gold or silver is in the exact asset right on it. So a 100-ounce bar of silver will say 100 troy ounces of silver, whereas a bag of pre-1965 silver quarters, you don't know how much silver is in there, but they do contain 90% silver. And it's probably the best silver asset that a person can convert their green dollars into. And that's what we prefer to buy all day long.
Got it. And how do people, this is my final question, I know we get it rolling. We want to keep this rolling, because how do people get a hold of you to begin to do this? Because I have done this, as you know. I have my bag of silver in my house, and it's a few dollars. But I'm a big believer in what we're talking about here, because I want that security. I don't want to lose my butt and everything. How do people get a hold of you, Andrew, and how can they get your help?
Well, they should reach out right away. So go to bh-pm.com, and on the homepage, just click on any of the red buttons that say free consultation or first time customer. And this is a no pressure deal. So people should run from any outfit that's like ours that tells people that they have to do it now. Don't be pressured into it. So with us, We will do a consultation. We'll find out a little bit about you by asking some questions and try to advise you on how you can protect yourself with gold and silver. So when people click on the form on our website, enter in as much information as you can. Say Dr. Sherwood sent me, and we see them all the time. And give us your name, phone number, email address. And if you're calling to learn about a 401k account rollover or an IRA, or if you want silver or gold and silver, or if you're a first timer and you just want some information on how to understand it better, just give us that information so I can get you to the right person.
All right. So bh-pm.com. Enter the information in there, any of the red buttons. Click on that. Tell them Dr. Sherwood sent you, and they will take care of you and get you squared away. Andrew, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for spending some time with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. I appreciate you. Have a good one, man, and we'll look forward to talking to you very, very soon again.
Doctors Mark and Michelle Sherwood and their clinic can help you find the hope and health you were created to enjoy. Go to sherwood.tv for clear, proven ways you can be healthier. Subscribe at sherwood.tv